All right. Good morning, good evening, good night. NFT Live on the Web3 Network. You already know what it is. I'm sitting here with some of the amazing creators on the network. Biggie Poppins, Gift Dead, Mr. Live Mint himself. We have a resident Moonbird here right below me. So we're going to get into some mythics, some oddities, a lot of cool stuff happening in the space. Doodles, again, Moonbird. Simpsons is potentially going to come out with an episode. Hopefully it's bullish. But we got a ton to get to. So let's get started. Biggie, how are you doing today, my man?
Man, I'm doing great. I missed the Web3 show this morning because I had to do another show, which I know we're all part of, which was the Baseheads virtual like game show, and I got to take part in it today. It took me a little while, but it was a lot of fun, man. I encourage anybody. I know we have a couple of listeners that are also part of the Baseheads crew. You guys check out what they're doing. It's tons of fun. I am in contact with Supermassive and Luca Franks. I'm hoping to get them over to the show or talk about everything metaverse that they're doing over there. But it was lots of fun, man. So I'm psyched, man. I'm having a good time.
Love it. Gif, what's up, man?
That's awesome. I love hearing updates about based heads. I've been watching what they've been starting to do on TikTok. By the way, Web3 Network is also on TikTok. We post a bunch of cool clips, shorts from NFT Live over there. So if you're missing out, you can see some of the best from these guys over there on TikTok as well. But yeah, based AF, they're doing their thing, and it's all like Biggie. You do such a good job as a community member of keeping up with all the things. I don't know how you do it because there's so many things and you're in so many communities, but you really do. So I got to shout you out, and I love that you come in here and you share that with us because, frankly, I'm awful at keeping up with all the many communities that I'm in a lot of the time. I don't do nearly as good of a job. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. It is a full-time job for sure. But we do need to get you on a couple of Discords. But man, you can't go on like this, Gif. You need help. We need to.
Gif, I need some activity on Discord. At least the chats that we're in together. Please, God. I just ask right now. I am just asking. I'm pleading with you. All right, we're gonna look at those eyes. Hey, another thing that's going on right now. So just it feels like Thursday is going to be the biggest day of the week related to announcements or news. Season 1 just ended. So we've been covering heavy metal for a little bit here. Obviously,
big day.
Yeah, huge day all around. So one, the Forge is down right now. So there's nobody playing the Forge. They're making season 2 updates. They haven't said what those updates will be. We'll get into that in just a second from the Bored Ape Yacht Club. But yeah, season 1 officially done in the books as of 10 minutes ago.
How does that make you feel, Q? How does that make you feel, the fact that there are updates happening? That's got to feel a little bit good. Something's happening.
We don't know exactly what those updates are. They mentioned like having a few smaller updates already. So I don't if they come out with this like massive change of like here's what the game is going to be now, and have like it not be so reliant on votes or something like that. That would be great. But I'm not expecting it. So maybe some smaller updates. I am probably not going to grind as hard. I know some people, Baron Von Hussel from the Other Space FM, got a legendary amp, so congrats to him. But congrats if you got into Heavy Metal Forge and you were getting after it, and you had some type of amp at the end of the rainbow. So yeah, but we'll get into that.
You got close to. I mean, you got some valuable amps, even if you didn't get like the top 130 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
you got some good shit for your work.
Yeah, I ended my highest heavy metal ended 144th out of like 20,000 or something like that. So I did get pretty high on the amp. It did take a lot of work. We'll see what happens. I'm having some issues with the music here today. I'm not a fan of that. I do like having some background music, but we'll see. Maybe you just get our voice. Oh no, I thought I heard something. Maybe not. Anyways,
that was just me humming.
Got it. If you could hum the rest of the episode, that'd be great. I've got Prodigy, Easy and Crypto, Squash Man, Nox Darkness came in early. We appreciate you showing up.
The crew.
Yeah, I'm gonna show off the episode today on Twitter here. If you guys can go give it a like, we might even do some ApeCoin. I'm thinking maybe if we get to like 25, 30 individuals here in the live show, we might do an ApeCoin giveaway here. So
Big
if you
day.
can, yeah, it's a heavy metals ending, so you got to get
Huge
after
day.
it. Other than that, folks, this is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Take nothing of what you say here and go to OpenSea or Blur and go buy NFTs. Don't do that. Do what you want. Don't base it on us. So we appreciate that. But let's get into it, man. I've got a big piece of news from Biggie Poppins here. Again, our resident Moonbird community member, and I'm excited to get into this piece here, man. So we've got the Proof Collective video here tuned up. How do you want to handle this, Biggie? Do you want to hit the TLDR, or do you want to go straight into the video?
I would say go straight into the video and feel free to jump around. It's 7 minutes, but I encourage our audience to go check it out fully. Justin Massell is a master storyteller, and you'll really get a sense of the story of the Mythics and what's coming down the pipe. But he's got some really great animation and a good intro. Check it out. See what's happening.
This is the fanny pack, and I thought for sure there was enough shit on the fanny pack that Justin wouldn't want to double down on.
Unbelievable.
But apparently he doubles down on the FUD.
Yeah,
they're not.
They're adventure packs. They're adventure packs. They're like, this is what I do with every.
The majority of the team is in QC mode, right?
Just looking through everything, making sure that it.
Wow. Quality control, folks. Hey, Zuki, are you paying attention?
Dude, this already is going to be one of the best projects ever launched because there is a QC. I was literally like, as soon as they said that, I was like, oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah, because it seems like so many projects skip the quality control. They just don't take the time and effort, which it should be at least as long as the art creation, if not more so. Because you have to go through thousands of pieces of art and then fix little things. So thank God they are doing that. That's amazing. Tremendous.
Biggie, was this the reveal for Oddities as well? It was today the reveal?
So today, burning of the oddities and revealing of the eggs start.
Eggs, got it.
So I'm praying. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I would love to have a day one mythic. I know.
I mean, me too.
Yeah, for sure.
Give it to me. Come on. Give it to me. No, I was kidding. You deserve it, Biggie. You're the Moonbird Maxi.
Dude, I'd be happy if you get one too, Gif. It's one of those things. It's just like day one. What does it mean? I mean, I don't know. Will they have more value? I don't care. I'd love to have a day one for my little degen heart, But let's see what happens. Let's see if the mythic gods favor me.
Is this the dub that the community needs? Like the overall industry? We've been talking about needing a drop or some type of reveal that actually goes well and returns some type of value to its holders or to a collector base. Is this a W here?
We don't know, but it has potential if it's done well to at least shift some of the negativity more positive. The only reason why it's not going to be a super impactful big dub all at once is because of the way the mint and the reveal mechanic, the burn mechanic is very drawn out, right? So it's not going to be one big event.
Yeah, I think it can also go the other way, right? Which is what I'm hoping that it really draws up momentum, right? As these birds are revealed and it gets the community, not just the Proof community, but people outside of it wanting to jump in. And once they start seeing the art and the community rally behind it, I definitely think the space needs. We just need some nice good vibes back, right? I more than just a drop. I think what people need is that the people that are still in this community, the NFT crypto space, to start getting excited about the projects that they've backed, that we've been waiting on for announcements and deliveries that they've been building throughout this bear, that are finally they've set the foundation, and now you're gonna see this, right? Not just from Proof, but from Doodles, right? And from Yuga and from other projects that have been building this whole time, and now it's time to release these things out into the wild and get get them in the hands of these collectors and see what the reactions are, right? And see what starts getting built around all this stuff. So I'm excited. You know, I really think that the kickoff of that Tubin's game, internal proof game started was the signal for me. You know, I was like, okay, here we go. Now here comes the mythics. Then we got talents. Then we got grails. We're gonna see a lot of stuff coming out over the summer from Proof, and so I'm excited, man, because yeah, it's been quiet for a while, right?
Yeah, with Comic-Con going on as well right now, we're getting a lot of interesting announcements from the top projects that we've been talking about. Doodles is not at Comic-Con, but they have a release with Camps. We saw Pudgies, we see Oni Force at Comic-Con, so we'll get into those in just a second. Let's hop back into the video just really quick. Also DP is saying keep the no music. So apparently we're getting some like no. I can't deal with it as like just a host. I like having dead air or like not having some type of like passive background noise. It kind of throws me off a little bit. At least in these shows, I could do them on podcasts, but we'll see. DP, maybe we don't bring it back.
Now, Q. Since we're talking about mythics and all these things, I just actually noticed that you changed the background poster. Your elephant is hung finally, and now you've got an owl. Is that an owl?
That is an owl.
Is that an owl?
Manny Links, baby.
Are you
live
forecasting something? Are you trying to say something?
Biggie, I will buy a Moonbird on stream. I will do a Mr. Live Mint right now. Look at Gifted space. I'm gonna get a Moonbird right now if Gifted and Prodigy never talk smack to me again. I will do it right now. You know what? Look, we're gonna bring up the video. This is gonna play for a little bit.
It's not even fair right now. I can't with this. I can't. This guy.
It's happening.
What?
Once upon a time, there lived the Mythics, a magnificent assembly of diverse birds unified under the protection and prosperity of the Erg Tree.
Look at this set design.
These birds lived amidst a true creative renaissance.
Don't do
it.
it.
A paradigm of patronage
Don't do it.
that brought power to the collective society rather than to individuals. A community of mastery furthered by guilds, artisan craft houses fueled by knowledge sharing.
I missed the first part of this, but it looks like he's announcing like the next world superpower. What's happening?
Yeah, I feel like he needs to be standing up. He's like, what he's saying does not match his posture right now. Like he's getting amped up, right? He's like talking about some world-changing fucking crazy mastery, like shit, like magic. I don't know. Like he's
doing the Churchill thing. He's doing the Churchill thing, Giff. He just needs a cigar.
Yeah, but he's like sitting, 80 pounds lounging back, more. Lean back with his leg crossed.
And collaborative commitment to excellence. It brought about the highest form of craft and culture for the good of the society. Amidst their growing potential and creative ambition, the Mythics sought to expand with Shoreloft, a city high in the sky.
So
above the
he's
clouds.
talking about the lore of oddities right now?
The pinnacle of their culture,
cool.
the Mythics set out to forge the legendary creation gem, which would bring to life the wonders of the city of Shoreloft and extend the Mythics' own reach beyond the branches of the Erg Tree.
Is this getting you across the complexity chasm, Q?
Something awful.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention because I'm
During
about
the
to buy
forging
a
ritual,
Moonbird.
the creation gem was corrupted.
All right, as a holder, you know,
lighting.
both of you guys. Yeah, I know it's about to get crazy. All right, so both of you guys are holders in your own regard. I think Giff, you hold an oddities, and Biggie,
two
you hold two oddities. Biggie, you hold a Moonbird. Is this doing it for you? Do you like this?
Oh hell yeah! But I've been tracking it from the start. But you can keep going forward. Like I think Giff needs the animation to really. He's
gonna say, yeah, Biggie's gonna say yes no matter what. It's almost not fair to ask him because you know Biggie is a Moonbird maxi. He bleeds.
This is true.
He bleeds whatever color Moonbird blood is.
Moonblood. It's
he bleeds.
Moonblood, Giff.
So like I what I like is that there's good production quality and thought and effort into, again, it's like bringing people into the story and trying to defeat the complexity chasm issue, right? It's like bringing you in, telling you more, trying to make it cinematic and interesting. So I'm here for this to see where it goes. I'm not like hook, line, and sinker. Like, oh my god, I love the fucking story and the lore yet. But I like at least that they're doing something here.
I've got Blur pulled up, folks.
Don't do it. Don't do it,
Mac.
like Q. Don't do it because of peer pressure. Do it because you actually really like the project.
Look,
because
okay,
here's
is that like 1 point what now? I'm
Okay,
doing it
I'll
'cause
tell you.
it's great value. They're down. Incredible.
Everything's down bad. Yeah, it's fair. But like,
Watch the pretty pictures and then pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
maybe there's some alpha about specific traits in this trailer. Q.
Lost mythic egg.
Here it comes.
A discovery that set into motion a call to action for all moonbirds. Realizing the need to confront their greatest fears and the power inadvertently bestowed upon the dread, the moonbirds and the oddities
All right. They need a voice actor for this.
hatch
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dormant mythic eggs.
It's a big egg. Why is that egg so big? Oh, baby.
It's getting lit in here, folks.
The sound design was great.
Yeah, it's scored well.
With unwavering courage, the United Moonbirds and Mythics will confront their deepest fears, growing stronger with each step. Together, they'll rally to strip the dread of its power and restore balance to the world. Cell. Nothing will ever be the same.
All right. Did I
Wow,
miss anything?
smash cut.
No, that
Smash
sounds
cut.
perfect.
Got some bad news though. We're actually kicking off the start of Mythics 2. So let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. All right. I think it's cool the way that they tied the animation in with like the live action storytelling was fun and well done. The animation looks great. The sound design, fucking amazing. It's one of the things I always pay as an audiophile, as somebody who's been creating music and doing audio engineering for a good part of my life. I'm always paying attention to the sound design, and that to me is like a big part of the quality of the overall production. That was great sound design. Sounded awesome. I think you were right though. I think Biggie, you were the one that said they needed a voice actor, or was that UQ? I think they could have. I think they could have maybe found a little bit better voice actor for it. That guy was like kind of mids in terms of like his, his intonation and the way that he sold it. But I think overall that was pretty well done. And I got about like half the lore. I did really like seeing the visuals, the animation with the lore. It felt cool.
We're casting if anybody in our community has some voice actor chops, like please reach out to the Proof team. I'm sure we'd be happy to hear from you.
So I want to stay in this.
Somebody?
I want to stay in this a little bit longer. We won't spend too much more time. But we did have a Genkai reveal on the Mint as well. So this long-awaited CyberKong's drop finally has some information around the Mint details that are quickly upcoming. So
can you drop that link in the private chat so I can collect it?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've got that. All right, I have the Moonbirds up. I'm looking at a Moonbird that is interesting to me that I would like to, be able to collect. It's a 1.53 floor right now. So
Now,
Biggie,
Q,
in
you
historical
want
context,
a Moonbird, you don't want a Mythic, right?
Yeah, I want a Moonbird.
Just to be clear. Okay, right on.
Why
Just
are we
wanted to make sure there was a distinction. No, I just
No,
want to
no,
make
no.
sure that you don't like get a Moonbird and then you're like, "Where's my fucking mythic?"
No,
And you're
no,
like,
no, dude. What do I look like? What do I
Oh,
look
I don't
like
know
here,
how much
dude?
you've kept up with the whole Moonbird proof thing requirements. It happens every day.
It's the chasm,
people come
bro.
in and they're
To
like, I thought this would
Scrubs.
get me the mythic.
Biggie's
It's like,
to
Biggie's trying to
Scrubs.
make sure you don't
I
fall,
know.
you're not getting lost in that chasm like I did on fucking Doodles again. Like
Okay.
you know,
Biggie, I wasn't even referencing something that you were saying. Sorry, I was referencing Prodigy saying, "I'm just going to be honest, y'all are coping." That's a mid take right there, Prodigy. I don't know, man. Come on, man. That was a cool release.
haters gonna hate.
God. Okay, Biggie. Before I pull the trigger here, is there anything I should know about like owning a Moonbird now? I'm probably late on any kind of drop for a Moonbird or anything like that related to Mythics, but is there any
for sure? Like you definitely want to do a little more research to see like what the nesting streak of the bird that you're looking at is at, like because maybe you still qualify for Diamond Exhibition, which means that once you hit like Diamond a nest, you would be able to claim a piece of art. At the same time, I mean, you never know. Some of them are sold and they still haven't claimed like their fanny packs, stickers, etc. Their goodies. And not to mention maybe the mythic eggs, although I think that's a stretch. I'd imagine by now most of them have been claimed, but maybe some aren't. So that just requires a little more deep diving. And then the bigger question is, I mean, obviously I think there is a ladder, right, of like proof pass, Moonbirds, mythics. But I think like for a lot of people that, you know, IP is very important. Like if you were thinking about launching like Q's mythic Moonbird coffee, then maybe a mythic would make more sense because mythics do come with IP rights, whereas Moonbirds are CCO.
I see.
I'm a fan of both.
Mythic coffee sounds awesome.
Yeah, that
I would
sound
drink.
great, actually.
I would drink that actually. So maybe we should do that. So Q, whatever Moonbird you get, or like I hopefully we'll get a mythic at some point. Maybe together we can start this coffee bean company.
I want to start a strip club.
Div,
that's
you did
branded
offer
with
up your.
Moonbirds.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that you did offer up your oddities for sacrifice, right, Giff?
I did. Yeah, I had no updates yet.
All right.
Anxiously awaiting.
So again, I'm not going to like create a business based on again, I can't with Moonbirds like you just said, but I wasn't really I just want to hold on to a Moonbird. Like I Prodigy saying, "Oh, I'm being bullied." I wanted a Moonbird for a long time. I really wanted a Moonbird when it ran up, but it's just you got as an OG holder, I feel like you need to have that in your wallet. That's
Let us know in the chat. Is Nifty Q actually going to buy a Moonbird? Is this just a big pump fake? Let's like don't peer pressure the guy. Like you shouldn't be buying expensive assets based upon peer pressure at all. But let us know in the chat. Will Nifty Q actually make a move and pull a trigger, or is this going to just be the same old story? What do you think? We want to hear from you in the chat.
I like the cowboy hat. I'm not gonna lie. I like the cowboy hat Moonbird. I also like the lower floor price. So I'm debating between a cowboy hat Moonbird and a lower floor price. Do any of the traits really stand out to you here, like from a rarity standpoint or anything like that? Before I just go based on aesthetics.
Man, well, I'm obviously partial to the fireheads, but you know, many traits have yet to be rewarded, right? Like there it was said from the very get-go that like different traits would get different rewards, right? I own a cowboy hat myself. I'm a fan of them, and nothing has been announced as of yet. But I think in the end, like it's important to just pick something that you really like, that you'd be willing to rock, right? Even the traitless birds, I'm a fan of them too. They have a really cool DAO called Naked Birds, and you know, they got a vibe going, man. So yeah, so you're into that stuff, Q, you know.
What stuff we talking? All right.
The Skinny Dip DAO. Maybe you want to join the Naked Burbs, bro.
Okay. All right. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to purchase a Moonbird by the end of this episode. I'm not pressing end stream till it's in my wallet. So do not let me off the hook there. I don't want to spend too much more time though, because we need to move on to like the rest of the topics. Biggie, any last? I can pull up probably some links related to the oddity stuff as well. We can go through that real quick.
No, man. I think right now it's just I think everybody's just kind of holding on with bated breath to see who gets a reveal. Maybe by next week when we do the show, I'll have at least one mythic. I'd like to think, if it's every day between today and next Tuesday, I'll have at least a cool new mythic to share with y'all. So that'll be cool.
Bro, this chat is getting toxic. Anyway, well, yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's move on, dude. Okay, I will say real quick since you got it pulled up, the art actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually really like the art here.
Yeah, the art looks cool. So
wow, it's crazy what putting thought and quality control into a collection would do. That's amazing stuff.
Could you imagine if they just recycled a bunch of the original 10,000 assets? Could you imagine anybody ever?
I would leave, dude.
Could you imagine anybody doing that?
I would leave
ever.
If Moonbirds
and if they were selling them for 2 ETH. It's so fucking absurd, bro.
What's the situation on the mythics for like again, I keep wanting to have this conversation. We talked about this on GM Web3 of separating what a business is doing to grow out their brand and IP and all this stuff, and what a flipper or a floor price would look like for these. So what were the mythics going for? And what do we like? I guess we can't judge secondary until they're revealed, but
yeah, and if you like, and because of the reveal, Q, like it's not gonna be as easy to pick like rarity traits, right? Because what might come out as a rare trait in this first week or 2 weeks might end up being a very common trait by the end of the full reveal, right? So I kind of dig this because it really puts the onus on the community to pick one, what you like, what you really love, and two, I want to think that this is going to encourage something more like a community determined rarity or traits that are valued more, right? Like very much like with punks when it comes to hoodies or 3D glasses, which are not as rare, but the community and the rest of the people really value them, and so they fetch for a higher price. So it'll be interesting to see what ends up being the rarest of traits and what actually ends up being valued the most. It might not be the same thing,
Well, I think that is an interesting point, but also there are different levels of eggs, right? So I'm sure that'll play into the rarities and people will be paying attention to that.
For sure. And the different level of eggs, what they give you is a choice, right? And I think you're going to have like a solid amount. I don't know if you're going to have the whole time until the end of the reveal to pick your mythic, but I do think you're going to have a substantial amount of time to be able to make that choice, right? So you'll be able to track like what traits are kind of like falling down the waysides and which ones are becoming rare, maybe, I suppose. But I guess that's what it is. It's like a more rare egg is not going to give you rarer traits. It's just going to give you more choices, right? Like the rarest of eggs gives you 3 choices, and then the rung below gives you 2, and then the one below is the same as an oddity. It's like you get what you get.
That's interesting. I guess like I'm not really expecting my oddities to get anything rare, but maybe if it's random like that, then I will. So fingers crossed. Yeah, let's keep it moving though. We've been talking about Moonbirds this whole show.
Apparently I can't move on. So I'm making the approval transaction right now. You guys aren't gonna let me out of this. I'll fucking do it. Okay?
Nox Darkness.
A whole nother thing. Other thing. I don't want to hear one other thing. That's what I said.
Nox asking, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Bird Builders mint that is based on the Moonbirds? If you've heard of it, I haven't. I don't know. Biggie, are you?
I've heard rumblings about it. I haven't dug deep into it, Nox, but I'm excited for it. Anything that's builder focused, I'm really excited about, especially with like mythics and Moonbirds happening. Like I've stated a couple of other times, I'm all for the art. I'm all for the artist, but I also love the tech. And I feel like that's one part that we can definitely do a better job at highlighting. And I don't mean just like the programmers and developers within Proof, but it's the people that are in the Proof community that are building really cool shit. And so I have this thesis that come Mythic launch, you're going to see a lot more emphasis on this side of the community. And so I think what Bird Builders is probably trying to capture is some of that momentum, which I'm all for.
All right. In the great words of Matthew McConaughey.
That was the worst
Congratulations.
impression.
That's
that was
your
the
man.
worst
Yeah.
impression
What the fuck
I've ever
do
heard.
y'all have to say now?
He went with the
Proud of you.
cowboy hat.
Officially a Moonbirds
A
holder,
Moonbird.
5604. Congratulations on the person that lost 0.3 ETH buying this at 0.18 and then now selling it to me at 0.58. So thank you. I guess that's just a 0.2 loss.
You're
But there we
doing
go.
all right. Yeah. And this
He's
is
a handsome
why
fella, man.
yeah, very good looking. I like the way that his hat matches his feathers, if you will. This is why every time that we go and do the NFT Go bag check, that it's always down and everything's red because people keep offloading for L's constantly. Liquidity's tight. There's no liquidity. People just taking L's, man.
There's your damn liquidity. 1.6 for your all asses.
He's
I'm
literally
out,
pulling
dude.
up. He's pulling up the
I'm out.
transaction to really make sure
I think
y'all
that's
see
good
the
risk
receipts.
reward right there.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
he's showing
man.
off the receipts. He's done. All right, he did his work for the day. Biggie and I are going to keep the show rolling right along. Hope you're enjoying and smashing the like while you're listening because we really need it. We need the engagement. We're being honest here. We could really use those likes. So
That was
do
above
us-
floor, too. They said traits were dead. That was above floor.
by like what
Doesn't matter. It
0.001.
wasn't a floor. It wasn't a floor.
That was the
NFTs
floor.
still live.
That was still
Heck
floor.
yeah,
That was-
man.
Thanks, Biggie. Hey, I appreciate you shilling Moonbirds every single day, Biggie, because it finally got me in.
Yo,
Man.
Moonbirds, Cairo, pay this man. He's doing the legwork out here. I guess you're getting
I'll
paid
take
in
it for
Mythics. Yeah.
Yeah, that's next. All right, listen, it's halfway through the episode, and we need to get to the remainder of the NFT space because it's popping off here. Genkai, we've been covering for a minute here, so this is going to be the new collection from CyberKongs. Now, there's a bunch of things to talk about here. Here's the announcement GIF. It looks like July 27th is going to be the details, and you see, and I'll link it for y'all here.
Okay, so I know this is your victory lap right here. You did actually just do a live mint, so I feel like you now are bestowed with the nickname Mr. Live Mint.
Sure, it
However, I hate to ruin your party here so quickly, your parade, but like, did you ever pull the trigger?
Are you kidding me?
CyberKongs?
Are you kidding me? I can't go 5 minutes before I get the next fucking hater. Come on. Let me
You
at least
look,
get
you
through an episode.
you have a track record of talking these things up, saying you're going to buy and not buying. That's
and
why.
I have a track record of 5 minutes ago. Since 5 minutes ago, I have a great.
That's
track
not a
record.
track record. That's a single
I
data
can't.
point. I don't know that
I
we can
can't
see
with
a
y'all.
trend
All right.
yet. But
Okay,
did you pull the trigger?
No, I didn't pull the trigger on the CyberKongs. I was leaving my liquidity for Moonbirds.
Right. That was the strategy all along.
All right, the mint will occur in 3 stages. 4 p.m. UTC is the limit list. They were doing that limit list activity for like the last month and a half. They've been working their way through a Google form sheet. So congrats to them on doing that. 7 p.m., 8 p.m. is the public. Stage 1 limit list. Okay, so we're getting available supply here is 9,000. This is only the first part, right? Mints per limit list is 2.25. So essentially, those of you that had CyberKongs are now getting a 0.5 ETH drop. That's what you got for holding a CyberKongs. Now the others, I believe, are getting so VX. I think Stamina was saying VX and not just babies. Babies get a 0.25 mint, so they get a 0.25 drop. VX gets a 0.25 drop, and this is the mint detail. So that's pretty cool. That's another dub for the space, right? Unless this goes below the mint price, this is essentially what these people are getting in a drop. And if they hold on to it, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is a great follow-up. It's cool to get some more details and see some more of the art. Again, another example.
Ooh, vesting.
We now see a trend of something that I called forever ago, and I want to take credit for this, and that's that pixel art is not as scalable, not as easily accessible for IP. And now you've got Cyberkongs, Moonbirds, and Avagachi, all pixel art original collections moving into a more refined, illustrated, or even 3D style as they try and expand their IP and bring in more people, make it more accessible. So it's cool. It's cool to see the Cyberkongs evolve and see what the art looks like. Again, the Mythics look fucking great in my opinion. I'm always very critical of the art. I think to me this like art is, it's kind of mids. Like it's cool. I don't love it, but at least again, I think it's cool to see them evolving. And this to me is at least I can see the IP growing more in this direction, right?
Biggie, I've got some questions, and those of y'all in chat, I would love to hear your response here. But interesting airdrop mechanic they're doing. So they're airdropping, it looks like a total of 7,000. Again, 2 for Genesis, 1 for babies, and then 1 for active VX Kongs. I don't know what active means. The price is free, of course, but there's a vesting period on these airdrops. So that's something I haven't seen for airdrops. But 180 days, holders are going to have to pay a fee if they sell in that time or want to sell.
Oh,
I like that, man. It stems the tide for the flippers, right? It makes them at least like wait until the full reveal. Like in the case of Moonbirds, right? If you're a flipper, well, you're gonna have to hold until you see how rare your bird is, right? Towards the very end. And with this, with the vesting period, again, like it just forces you to like give it a second or a minute, right? It's not gonna like prevent you from flipping, but at least that it prevents the bots and the insta flippers to partake or to have a second thought right before partaking in these particular mints. I'm for that. That's cool.
It's interesting to see the different types of mechanics that teams are experimenting with to try and like balance things and extend things instead of having like these huge pump and dumps, but they're trying to like add some kind of counter force to the market besides to counteract just the short-term trading, right? They're like trying to make you think twice or incentivizing you to hold, or doing these different, like with the mythics, having that mint be drawn out, making you wait longer, etc. Like these are interesting mechanics, and it definitely makes you at least pay attention a little bit longer. I do think it's kind of hard to hold momentum super long, but it makes it at least keeps like people paying attention, caring a little bit longer. And I think it does sort of EQ, it like reduces volatility a little bit. I think you're less prone to probably see these crazy swings of like crazy pumps and dumps. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing that teams are, battling with that and trying to figure out new mechanics and incentive structures.
Essentially, people right off the bat will not be able to sell for any profit, right? It's a 0.25 fee. That's what the actual unless they go crazy, right? If they go crazy, if they go to 1 ETH, then yes, you can spend a 0.25 ETH.
That's an expensive fee. That's an expensive fee.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially the value of the mint. That's what they're saying. So it's literally 0 if you sell it, and it holds that value on first day. Easy and Crypto just said, I got out of my meetings just now. Well, you missed me buying a Moonbird, Easy. I finally got bullied into buying a Moonbird, but yeah, I wanted to make that quick announcement. And also, I was looking for the Cyberkongs on. Okay, so Cyberkongs is this weird thing as well, where I don't think their collections are distributed into 2 on Blur. So I see Cyberkongs. I don't know if they have Cyberkongs VX.
Something like Genesis or something.
I think the babies, I think the OGs and the babies are in one collection.
Yeah, it's weird like that.
But yeah, because like the OG ones are like 8.
Yeah, those are babies.
Yeah.
So I was looking to see if any action was happening here, right? So if we go to 8, do we see any? Yeah, like these are OGs. So they're in the same collection. I hate when this happens. This is one of my pet peeves. I'm still looking at Oni's Quantum. We will see that in a second. Yeah, but no real action here on the babies. But again, I think it's tough to look at these collections when they're not separated out. So maybe there's action on Cyberkongs, the OGs.
What's the babies for still at? Is it still around like 1.3?
1.3, yeah, holding. Yeah. Let's see if I can't get to what the hell did NFT price for today? I'm trying to look for OGs. Okay, OGs are down 10% on 24 hours. So action off this mint right now, yeah, is what we're showing you.
Why do you think that is?
So I predicted a little bit of this. We're not following this like to a T, but I predicted that people would want to buy because of the price disparity in OGs to babies, which still get the drop. That more people would want to farm the babies or like buy the babies because that has the same like half a mint. Do you see what I mean? So
the price differential for the reward doesn't quite add up.
OGs would need to be a 3 ETH for the price to be equal, right? You can buy a baby at 1.5. You should be able to buy a OG if you're looking at just this mint or just this airdrop. So maybe some of that's happening. I don't know. Maybe people are selling OGs to buy babies. Who knows?
Squash Man calling out one of my favorite projects saying, check your dead fellas. Had a 0.41 WETH offer on one of mine that I accepted last night. Then bought a floor dead fellas that I vibed with just as much. Pocketed 0.16. Yo, it's great to see some small wins here. We haven't been seeing too many wins lately. Most people just been losing their asses. So I love to see that, Squash Man. And obviously Deadfell is one of my favorite projects. So if they're starting to get a little bit more traction or attention, that's great news. I got a bag of fellas, full transparency, not financial advice. Hey, here's a interesting quick thing. I'll share my screen. Apparently there's something new being rolled out on OpenSea called Deals. Have you seen this? You can now offer your NFTs for their NFTs. This is
like
this
swap.
Is the Pudgy swap.
This is Pudgy Swap.
Great innovative move, OpenSea. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything shitty. Fuck it. I'm not saying anything. Yeah, cool.
What happens if you go to make a deal? I won't go through it all.
No,
okay,
do it. I want to see
Pudgy
it.
Swap.
Where does it go?
I
can't see your screen.
Yeah. How do I get back to it?
It's probably on the front page, right?
Yeah, I'm on their front page now.
Look for BlackRock ETF as well on their front page.
We already know. I tried. It doesn't exist. We know that doesn't exist. Where would Deals be?
Yeah. If you find it, let us know. How about that?
Okay.
Biggie, I've been curating a favorites collection here on Blur. Wondering if you see any that need to be added. But it kind of keeps me updated with the projects that we at least talk about every day. But yeah, Moonbird sitting at 1.54. We just talked about. Oni obviously has been making waves, at least in our I guess realm that we like to cover. So they're at Comic-Con today. We'll talk about them. Mochaverse is up. Looks like Deadfellas is up 10% in the last 7 days. So
heck yeah.
So I did find it. If you want to, if you want to go back to my screen, I found it. It's underneath like your account center where your profile and all that stuff is. It says make a deal new. And it actually made me sign a transaction before I could even go to or not a transaction. It made me sign like a terms of service. Like it brought up like a MetaMask transaction, but it's not an actual blockchain transaction. It's just like an agreement. So apparently, they have some new terms of service around this new product as well.
So it's just OTC. These are the rails that are being laid out. Is they're now offering OTC on these marketplaces.
So I'd have to find a user. So like if I look for Biggie,
have you guys ever done like OTC deals?
Yes, X2Y2 had OTC deals for a little while.
Biggie, do you have Biggie Poppins.eth?
No, brother. I don't have any easily recognizable
I'll send you my
wallet names or stuff like that.
Okay.
Let's see. I sent you my ETH address in chat. Maybe I can get it.
Quantum.
Send some ETH.
Two
too.
Yetis for a Moonbird.
Okay, so check this out. Are you still on my screen? Sorry,
Yep.
I can't see. So I just selected one from my other wallet, Gifted wallet, and then I can select from my current Nifty Castle wallet. And I guess, so you can see the one up top that I selected, the drivers.
Mm.
And then I could select like an Epiphany. I'm kind of worried. So here you go. Deal expires
Yeah,
in
just
1
don't
day.
approve
Okay,
anything.
cool. So you can send the deal
I-
and then they have to approve it on their side.
Yeah. So obviously with OTC, that's been the ideal situation because there's no royalties paid, right? Like for people that don't want to, get around. For people that want to get around royalties, this is an ideal option, I think, because they're not going to take a fee. I guarantee it.
This is interesting.
Oh.
So there you go. New deals, OTC, peer-to-peer trading. That's interesting. And yeah, Pudgy Swap may have been the catalyst for that.
All right,
They're doing their best Mark Zuckerberg meta impression there, just ripping off
copying
whatever.
everybody,
Yeah,
being super
copy
reactive.
pasta.
I'm super shocked at all of that. All right, I'm going to get to the next piece right here. One collection that we've been talking about for a long time as well, being in that blue chip category, is Doodles. I think you're a Doodles holder, correct? Gifted. I don't know, Biggie. Are you a Doodles holder?
Not yet, but it's always on my radar. Kind of like you
Sold.
with birds, but I'm close.
I still got some duplicators that I'm down like 90% on, but I lost my ass on my Doodles. Had to get rid of that when I was trying to get some liquidity, and yeah, I lost my ass on Doodles, and I do not currently have one.
So a lot of reaction here, like start of the month on Doodles. I don't remember exactly what this reaction was from, but it bounced off 1.3. Now currently sitting at 1.6. They are not at Comic-Con, but they did have a Spaces last night, and this announcement is really fucking cool. They're partnering with Camps
Chicago. Thank you.
in Chicago to launch an immersive experience for the IP. So they're saying teleport to a rainbow world. We could show you a little bit of what that looks like. Also, this is a really cool point. This is alongside other Disney projects that Camp is working with. So Little Mermaid, Encanto, and Mickey's and Friends. These are all different immersive experiences in different cities. Again, Biggie was just saying that this is going to be in Chicago. And you can see, like, right away, this is what it's going to look like as people hop in and experience Doodles IP in person. Wondering what y'all think about this.
Dude, I want to go to Chicago now, man. Like, honestly, that's one of the things that I've always thought Doodles does really well. I love these IRL events that they do, and this I'm sure is going to be amazing. Plus, they picked a great city. I've been banging the drum on fucking Chicago, like why nobody pays attention to it, and everybody wants to do Miami, New York, or Los Angeles. I think Chicago is just so cool. I can't wait, man. Like, this is really I don't know. It makes me want to own a Doodle for sure.
I think it's really positive. I really hope the execution is good because they've struggled with that. It looks cool. The animation is cool as always. Does it make sense and does it actually get any traction or real interest? They're selling tickets to go into
$36.
it.
Yep.
It's very much the Universal Studios theme park type model where you have to pay a pretty expensive price just to get entry to the attraction. And then the whole thing is basically trying to get you to spend a bunch more money on overpriced items.
Merch.
That's like, yeah, merch. So it's like to get somebody in to pay to then buy your merch is kind of a stretch. If they can pull it off, if it is cool enough, if they can create an experience.
Oh, it's going to be.
That is cool enough and
so.
market it well enough that they actually get a lot of people buying tickets and then also buying merch out of this, then they are well on their way to cracking a sustainable business model. Because this is actually can be very, very lucrative if you can do this well.
So there's a couple questions in chat. Quantum Variant saying, how big is the space? DP saying
3,500
that's
square
dope.
feet.
Yeah.
3,500 square feet.
And I think, Gif, you mentioned that like their execution, it's going to be Camp's execution, right? Like Doodles has the IP. They're partnering with this company who launches these experiences. You can see the ones that I've showed up here. So they're the ones
And
that
I
put
also-
on these experiences.
I also think there's an important distinction here to make. Gif, while I wouldn't be surprised if they try to push some merch exit through the gift shop type scenario in any of these, right?
That is what it is.
I do think it's a little bit different than like a Disney Universal Studios experience, and more akin to something like Meow Wolf, where it's an interactive, immersive experience, right?
Well,
And if they do that right, which I think they have in the past, and this being a flagship one now, I think they're going to hit it off the park. I think people crave those experiences. I, for one, man, I mean, I don't hate Disney, but I'm sick of it. My daughter watches it all the freaking time. I have the fucking songs in my head all the time. And I know the day will come when she'll say, I want to go to Disney. Fine, we'll go to Disney.
yeah.
But until that day comes, I would much rather take her to Meow Wolf, to stuff like this, which I find a lot more interactive, creative, immersive, right? Like they are different than like the theme park of yore, right? Where it was just like you pay an absurd amount of money and spend all this time in these lines, and it's just kind of gimmicky. Like I think these, like what I was seeing with the Little Mermaid, they seem to have actors playing a role, like not just the stuffed animal, right? But like actually playing a role, and they have like different things that kids can go and like interact with. I think that's dope, man. I think that's really cool.
I agree that's cool, but where I disagree with you is that so Meow Wolf to me is literally just like an adult theme park. Like it is the same business model. It's just more targeted towards adult audiences. This is very clearly kids audiences, right? So this is much more like a Disneyland Universal Studios than like a Meow Wolf in that regard. Like this is kids, family friendly, just like when you go to Super Nintendo World. But it's the same exact business model either way. So we're basically saying the same shit. Quantum Variant saying 3,500 square feet isn't that big. That is a concern I have too. It's basically just a big house. So they've got to use that space really, really well to maximize getting people in and actually making it a memorable, meaningful experience. And again, will it be enough to get people to want to buy, pretty expensive tickets, plus then spend a bunch of money on overpriced merch? That's the question. And again, if they can pull this off, and it sounds like Camp, the people that partnered with are experts at this, so hopefully they will. Then I do think it's actually a massive W for NFT IP generally, right? Because everybody's been talking about wanting to be the Disney, creating the Disney, et cetera. This is literally like taking a step towards being a Disney theme park in a way with a NFT native Web3 native brand.
I mean, they're right alongside of Disney as well. Like
Exactly.
you can't. Again, I go back to the point of like this didn't exist 3 years ago, and now you have an NFT IP that is there. That's where people that say, "Hey, this stuff is all dead, like it's never coming back." It's like, look how far we've come in those 3 years. Like to be having an IP from Web3 sitting right next to Disney is an important milestone, man. So I don't know how much they'll pull in from this though. But go ahead.
No, and I was gonna say I agree with DP here, talking about like how eventually like we're still creating like the persona of these brands, right? Like and the characters that inhabit them. And I do think that in the end, very much like Proof is doing, very much like Yuga and all of them, you will need like a movie or a show or an animation to really drive that point home, right? But it's been done before. We see Studio Ghibli in Japan has done it, right, with Prince Mononoke and their whole franchise. Like, I think storytelling definitely is at the heart and soul of all of these projects. It needs to be done well, and I'm very happy with some of these blue chips and what they're doing, right? Like some of them are taking this immersive experience, approach. Others are doing the animation and the story first, but I think, I don't know, like I try to think about like the people that were, they're probably not alive anymore, right? But when Disney launched, right? When it wasn't Mickey Mouse, when it was Steamboat Willie, right? Like imagine if those NFTs were available back then. How much would a Steamboat Willie NFT be worth, right? Versus a Mickey Mouse one, right? Pixelated or not. I think you're going to see this from some of these projects come, as time passes. And I, for one, am really like, that's why I like especially the Soulbound tokens, where it's not about like being able to flip it, but it's like just saying, hey, I was there, I was partaking in this story before we came up with the personas and before everything else got built, right? Like, it's cool. It's cool to be part of it. This wasn't available before.
Okay, we need to move on to the next story here, which is going to be Heavy Metal Season 1 ending. This is the info that you get from Heavy Metal when you go into the game. So again, the servers are down. They're doing some updates. There were a couple different announcements that were made. One from the Bored Ape Yacht Club Twitter profile and a couple other influencers talking about it. I believe, again, Baron von Hussel was able to get a legendary, so shout out to him. Yes. But let's go into... So this was the announcement from Bored Ape Yacht Club. This is it. Unless we got something else, and Squash, be on the lookout. It says, heads up, Heavy Metal Forge will be down for approximately 5 hours from 1 to 6 for needed maintenance and Season 2 updates. I'm going to make sure there was nothing that came out along with this. So, yes, this is all we've gotten so far. So no like trailer announcements after Season 1, no big, huge... thing that's going to shake up the community. Harry Liu also got into a Twitter thread recapping essentially Season 1. There was some, I believe, ApeCoin usage. So over 500,000 ApeCoin or dollars have been spent in ApeCoin, 20 guilds, synergy with ApeFest, best use of Heavy Metal IP. So just kind of going through the different things from this season. But yeah, any takes? We can dive into this for a moment, but it looks like nothing from Bored Apes so far.
So over 500,000 spent so far is what we're seeing here.
Yep, in ApeCoin.
And almost 1,600 different spenders. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty strong start, given that there's 6 seasons, right? And it'll probably ramp up a little bit, right? Like, we don't know how much, but if it ramps up at all, then you can easily predict probably like anywhere between $3 to $5 million probably spent in ApeCoin. If I had to guess, I would say probably close to $5 million gets spent before this is over.
So there's the categories for the amps, right? Shit. So it actually really blows that I fell right outside of this. I got 144th again out of these. So these are the major amps, but there's other comments. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah. I'm kind of mad at it. But Legendary here, Epic is next, and then Rare is going to be those top ones. I don't know if he has the next rank. No, he doesn't have like the uncommons and commons. But there's those topics.
Not even worth posting about us, huh? Appreciate that. But yeah, Q, I know you're pissed. I know you're upset. I know you were grinding hard, but at least now you can hug your Moonbird.
Listen, I appreciate that. Thank you for that Moonbird shout out. But I'm going to go back to Biggie's comment yesterday. I don't remember the exact term about the get off my lawn people. What are they again?
NIMBYs.
I'm not going to be a NIMBY about this. Look, I went into this understanding that there are going to be people that are grinding the fuck out of this game. You have to go into this knowing that. So we're gonna continue grinding. I don't know if I'm gonna go as hard this one because it's gonna be even harder to get a legendary this next time. Maybe I go a little bit more across the board with the 9 heavies as opposed to trying to get one into that legendary piece. So. Yeah. Anyways,
Quantum asking how much was spent in Dookie Dash. I think it was around 2.5, right? 2.5 mil.
I think more was spent on Dookie Dash. I do.
Really? I thought it was 2.5 mil. But like for a 2-week like run, that was a lot. Like that was pretty huge.
Yeah, on average, that's more right than Heavy Metal. It looks like there was $500,000 spent.
Right, but over the 6 seasons, I think this is going to get closer to 5 mil.
But but on average, like more was spent in a smaller amount of time. You know, like per weekly spend, Dookie Dash did more.
Yeah, I think they're very different experiences, though.
That's
right.
True.
So I don't know. To your point, like maybe they were expecting the exact same burn rate or spend rate. I don't. I think they're very different games, right?
Yeah.
Mechanically,
I agree with that. I did have an NFT statistics. Oh, it looks like NFT statistics is talking about the mythics as well. Current floor 2.49, and the bid is 0.4 for a day one mythic. I don't know if that is good or bad for y'all. It seems like it's good. The first 50 oddies have been burned. Up next, eggs.
Nice. So we can go. Or when do they reveal? When do they reveal?
I don't know if it's an oddity. I think it's an instant reveal. So I think if you go on OpenSea and try to find them, maybe you might be able to.
I don't see it.
See if I have something.
So
Oh yeah, there it
Easy
is.
saying
Here it is.
Oh yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
here
Found
it is. I found them.
You found it?
Send a
You
link
want to
and
share
I'll
it, or
pull
you
it
want
up.
me to? Here, I'll pull it up. It's right here. Oh, here we go. We got some reveals already. Nice. Let's
Oh,
go.
dude.
This one's pretty cool over here. I don't know if that's like stone skin. It looks like the
Yeah.
what's that disease in Game of Thrones where you literally turn into
Oh,
stone?
stone skin. Yeah.
That one's kind of the wooden one with the little bird in its
Yeah,
eye, the three
the
eyes.
wooden ones.
Ooh, that's
Wow.
dope. That mask. This
So
dude's got a
Dave-
fucking sword through him and a wand and a heart.
The albino one I really like. Day one floor is open at 2.5. So that's the day ones. Is that what does that mean?
Yeah. There's only
Yeah.
like 50 to 100 each day
So there's
that
gonna
are
be
actually
100
released.
Okay.
day ones.
So you guys haven't you guys didn't get the day one. Is that
Oh, dude, I love that robot.
The robot is very cool. Ooh, this green one.
Quantum Variant has a
Dope.
question. So do I buy the oddities or the mythic eggs to guarantee a mystic?
So both of them will guarantee a mystic. Quantum is just the oddity. You have to go an extra step because you have to nominate the oddity to be burnt. If not, it will stay an oddity, and then eventually you won't be able to nominate to burn them, and they will be their own separate Gremlin collection.
This
If
whole
you buy
row is fucking
an
sick.
egg, it'll
Yeah,
be
the
different.
Asian masks are nice. Yeah. All right, keep me up to date with that. I do want to jump back into and close out the Jakob. Yeah, these are really nice. Oh, gold. Here we go. So I'm gonna really quick finish out the Bored Ape piece. I'm also getting some feedback. I don't know if any of you guys have like your mic hot or something like that.
No, I'm
Squash.
good.
Okay, so 2 comments. Squashman saying, bummed I didn't make a rare tier after grinding for 2 weeks straight. I think it was 3 weeks, wasn't it? I think it was 3 weeks. Especially since I did jack shit on my second heavy and got the same tier. That was something I was looking at the end. Was like, if you're gonna make it, how do you spread your votes out? There's definitely alpha in there, especially when we see the secondary market for these legendary amps, which I don't think will be dropped till the end of all of the seasons. I thought maybe we'd get an airdrop. I think maybe a fleeting moment, but I don't think we'll see that till the end. Hoping meta changes to incentivize people to actually decorate their forge instead of pure energy vote farming. Quantum saying they need to fix voting. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about the summary from season 1. We'll see what the updates look like. I will say that, the positive side of this, I met more apes in 3 weeks than I've met in a long time in the community. So that is one benefit. The apes are connecting together. I hope they kind of riff off that a little bit more.
Love it.
All right.
And I'm honestly, I'm still just thinking about the Mythics art. Cam Taylor showing up. Great to see you, sir. We were actually sharing the recent Chiptos animation yesterday, admiring your art also. But yeah, your note about Azuki, well taken. We agreed. This is how you actually expand on a brand without ruining and diluting your original holders, and do it while, keep it on brand, but do something differentiated. So fully agree. Great point.
I don't think we'll touch on the NFT Go bag check today. We'll do that tomorrow. Nothing really is popping off. That sentiment meter is at 15 now. Good Lord.
Keeps dropping. It's getting colder and colder in here, man.
I'm telling you, we're going to get Sub-Zero.
Loot made a appearance here on the top, which is kind of weird. Not in volume, but just in like sales. But the last piece there, somebody bought like 50 heavy metals. I was trying to find that on NFT statistics, but I came upon another. I couldn't find it, but somebody bought 50 heavy metals, drove the price up. Pac-Man Blur from Blur is saying we're going to allocate more than 300 million blur to the farmers. So that was an update that happened yesterday. We also got an update from 10KTF. It looks like Christie's ink and Gucci cloth will be redeemed for co-branded 10KTF Gucci wallet or duffel bag. 10KTF will never, like, honestly, like, they're so far down the complexity chasm. I don't even know what half of the time I don't know what they're talking about. And that's not a negative to them, but it's just like, I don't even know what that means.
We try and stay up to date and cover. We did have Keegan also, who's deep in their community, come on and try and like explain it all to us. But yeah, it's still difficult to keep up with, but they do a good job for the people that are in it. I know that they're constantly updating and they're doing a lot of cool shit. That's why we keep covering it, because we know that they are a big project that will continue to evolve, and they're part of the other side and Yuga now. So it's worth paying attention to.
Definitely worth. And I know G tags and all those things are worth paying attention to for sure. All right. Last story here. I don't even know if we'll cover the Simpsons NFT stuff because we need to get out of here relatively shortly. But this is a tweet from Star-Lordy. Comic-Con is blowing up. NFTs, Web3 are taking over Comic-Con in a bit. We saw long lines at Pudgy, Penguins booth. We saw Oniforce. We saw, I think, Cool Cats has an announcement. And then this announcement from Oniforce is pretty dope. This is from Star-Lordy.
I love that AG. Nice.
So that was another announcement. I'll go through a lot of the other pieces.
Yeah. So those look like limited edition t-shirts dropping at Comic-Con that are AR enabled. And it's cool to see they're utilizing the comic book airdrop art, because if you were an OG Oni holder, you got airdropped those sort of comic book frames in different versions of it. I got some of those. So it's really cool to see that brought to life and put, into a phygital item with a cool experiential piece. And the quality looks amazing there. I do think we should hit the Simpsons things briefly, just like pull up the poster and just like look at it, since it's the thumbnail, and I think it's interesting. But yeah, it's awesome to see that he's saying NFTs and Web3 are actually having a real impact there, because I actually hosted a panel at Comic-Con LA. This last Comic-Con LA, I hosted a Web3 panel, like Hollywood meets Web3. Actually, Jeff Nicholas, who's now part of the Yuga team. Jeff Nicholas was one of the people, the CEO from National Lampoon, because they were getting into Web3, Cas Vegas. Some amazing people came out to do a Web3 panel at Comic-Con LA that I got to moderate and curate. And there was no interest. There was nothing Web3 at the entire Comic-Con LA except for our panel. And there was maybe 10 people in the crowd for that whole, panel. So it's very exciting to see that there's real momentum or interest there.
Yeah, the Pudgy's booth looked like it was just overtaken, and it didn't look like it was just like a bunch of Web3 nerds. It looked like there were a very large variety of folks that were in that line. This is the Cool Cats booth as well, so they got the milk bar set up for the Cool Cats there. I thought there was one more project that was there. I thought there were four, but I'm potentially thrown off here.
Well, I know Avagachi is showing up. I don't know. I don't think they have like a booth or a space or anything like that, but I know that the Avagachi fam is out there representing. So shout out to them. They were at the Solana GG gaming event yesterday, sharing some alpha around Star Atlas that, you're not so convinced. Ooh, what's going on here?
Just a quick animation.
The milk bar. Oh, that's cool.
Cute little trailer. But yeah, I mean, look, those are all projects, and we mentioned Doodles as well that are doing IRL stuff. So I think long term, it might not, although some floor prices are up, right, on just the projects that are at this location with Comic-Con. But long term, I mean, you got to bet on these guys that are putting themselves out there. Out of all of them, I think Cool Cats is probably still one that I'm like, it's cool, but I don't think it's going to get me involved in it. But I really like seeing Oni out there. Pudgy seems to be, doing an extremely good job with their physical products. All right, last piece here, and then we'll get up out of here in just a second. Let me make sure I've got the link. It's going to be this poster. And this was posted earlier today. So, like this morning, I think also The Simpsons are at Comic-Con. So, this is why it's relevant to now. Obviously, the very popular Treehouse of Horror episode. But if you look up there in the top corner, I'll try to zoom in. You can see that there are a variety of NFT IPs up here. Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, Neon Cat. There's a doodle in the background there. I think there's a couple others that I can't quite make out. But apparently we're getting a Treehouse of Horror Simpsons NFT episode. Whether that's good, I'm not sure. Is it going to be a full FUD episode that we're going to have to deal with?
I think this to me is crossing into that like any PR is good PR territory. It's a beloved IP creating something really interesting, using the IP in a stunning visual, high quality cinematic way with the storytelling. So even if it's a total takedown, even if it's making fun of us, which it will be, to be clear, we know the Simpsons are going to be absolutely taking a piss on all of Web3 and NFTs. I still actually am excited and feel like it's positive because, yeah, like, you know, when South Park took down Tom Cruise and Scientology, it didn't stop them. You know what I mean? It didn't.
Are you calling us
stop them.
Scientologists?
No, the point is that, like, you know, at a certain point, any PR is good PR. It builds awareness. And I think the cool thing is because it's animated, illustrated, high quality, Hollywood studio production, getting to see the IP represented in the iconic Matt Groening Simpsons style, I think is actually fucking epic. I think it's really cool.
I also think we had folks like actually put or talk about NFTs in like familiar media, right? Like major mainstream shows. I don't think NFT IP has ever been featured. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen in like mass produced, like huge shows, actual NFT IP being shown.
No, not yet. I think remember that Crapopolis project? I know they're launching their show soon. Remember with these weird chickens and stuff? I think they are the guys that come with, I forget the name of the other
You're
show.
talking about Cock Punch?
No, not Cock Punch. This is Crapopolis. You should look it up. It's another, like, it's coming out in Fox, like, I think with pretty soon. But I think it's going to be one of those first shows that launched as an NFT and then transitioned and did this. Yeah, exactly.
I think what's really dope is that we're starting to see NFT and Web3 native IP being used and showcased alongside some of the most famous IP in the world, right? The Simpsons, literally owned by Universal Studios, has its own theme park at Universal Studios, has a whole Krusty Land immersive thing. And now you're seeing Simpsons integrating Web3 tech. You're seeing doodles integrated into these camp stores alongside Disney brands. You're seeing Oniforce Pudgy and who else?
Cool Cats.
Cool Cats, all at Comic-Con next to all these super famous brands. That's what's really exciting to me. Is just you're seeing the IP start to level up and actually be showcased and experienced at the highest levels next to these super famous brands and IP in great, you know, high quality cinematic ways and all that type of stuff. That's exciting.
Quantum is saying Snoop and Eminem and their music videos, and that's probably the right answer. I think that is the probably the most widely consumed piece of content that had NFTs in it or utilized it. Prodigy saying Mila Kunis has her own show around her NFTs. Does she? What's happening with that?
Nobody's been talking about that,
right? Is that it?
Stoner Cats.
It feels contentious to talk about Stoner Cats. Like some people, for whatever reason, like, oh, she's doing it, but I haven't seen it.
I think I'm not
shit about it.
My honest opinion is that the space kind of chewed them up and spit them out, and I think that at that time, people were kind of mistreating them in a way. And like
last tweet's from March 3rd.
Yeah, I get that we're all very skeptical of celebrities and Web2 brands. I'm more so than anybody, but I think that they actually tried to come in and create something meaningful and interesting, and people shat on them just to shit on them, which is kind of upsetting. like the whole derivative to like undercut them was very contentious, and like that's a whole thing. We don't have to go down that rabbit hole right now, but there was like a lot of people in the space that were shitting on them just because they were celebrities and not really giving them a chance. And I think they were actually trying to do something interesting.
So they got 2 episodes up now or something?
I just feel like this is not going to end well. They haven't tweeted
No.
since March 3rd.
Oh no,
That's
got
like
more.
5 months ago. Jesus. About, episode 2, episode 3, 4, 5.
See, if they would have gotten Dave Chappelle on this show, then it would have been a hit.
Yeah, I don't want to make a fucking deal, OpenSea. Get out of here. Activity. Ew.
3 days ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like
That
most
floor price
projects.
is nasty.
Yeah. Anyway, I look, I don't know what's happening with it. I'll just leave it there. It does feel like they kind of got chewed up and spit out, though. That's a great analogy.
Yeah. Hey, smash the like though. For Biggie Poppins, for yourself, for the Mythics, for the Doodles, for Oni Force, for all these
What a
projects who keep showing up, for yourself, for keep continuing to show up. Last show of the week. It's been an awesome show. Appreciate y'all so much. And also just know that we are working on updating our own formats and like curation and trying to do a better job of capturing all of this awesome content and relaying it in more digestible, accessible ways, because we spend a lot of time and effort and y'all contribute. You put in a lot of time and effort hanging out with us, sharing stories, updates. And a lot of times, like other than inside these shows, inside the walls of these shows or Twitter spaces, which disappear, we don't actually share that out better. So just know we are working on some better ways to capture and provide all of this awesome curated info, POVs, etc., and in a more valuable, digestible, readable way. And a lot more on that to come soon. So let us know any email
What a
newsletters
breakdown.
that you like. Yeah, let us know any other suggestions too, like different types of threads or ways that you like to digest your content, because we're looking at a lot of different options right now.
All right, Biggie, I'll let you talk a little bit here while I pull up the Moonbird that was bought on today's fucking episode. And I don't want to hear
yeah.
anything else. But Biggie, last thoughts here.
I think that Moonbird needs to go to Marfa. That's all I had to say with that cowboy hat. Looks banging
Facts.
there, dude. Always fun doing these shows with you guys. I love our crew. So, I mean, I don't have much else to say. I'm just saying maybe cross your fingers so that me and GIF get our mythics between now and the next show. That would be
Ooh.
so dope. And that they are like super cool ones. I'm personally, I'd love to get one that's like the one that's covered in FUD, that'd be really dope. Those are cool. Like just when I'm feeling fuddish, I can bring that one out and talk smack like an alter ego. Probably open like a different like Twitter account just for that bird. Different name, different everything.
Biggie's getting after
be
it
cool.
here, dude. I appreciate y'all
Hell
as
yeah.
well. Thank you guys for tuning in the whole way through, man. I can't say enough about how your activity in the chat helps the episode and helps us, feel the energy from the community. So Quantum Variant, Easy and Crypto, Squash Man, Prodigy. Who else was here? Let's see.
Knox was
here.
probably
DP.
cooking something delicious. Knox needs to introduce himself now every day. Whenever he's on the show, he just needs to let us know what he's cooking, because
Yes,
I'm always
chef.
wondering about that.
Yes, chef.
Yeah.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
What's up?
All right, I don't want to hear anything about this Q doesn't buy any NFTs that he's talking about. That is dead. It's buried. It's gone. We're starting a new
In the vault.
tradition here. Throw it in the vault.
Should we start calling him Cowboy Q or Q-Bird?
Oh,
Q-Bird.
Q-Bird.
I love it.
Wow. Do you see that? We're just making content here on the NFT live episodes.
I'm done.
We appreciate it.
I'm done.
Last episodes of the week. We will see you next week, Monday. Don't get wrecked before then. We'll see you then. Later.
Take it easy, fellas.